Welcome to the Green Room video for episode number 45, which is, I don't know, that's pretty impressive.
A big 4-5.
Yeah.
Big 4-5.
Every week we chug even closer to, I mean, what was the number of, I'm going to consider it a big milestone to surpass the amount of episodes produced for the 11 version of the show. Did we got to 63 or 64?
3.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
How often were we doing those? We didn't really have a set schedule for those, did we?
At one point, there was almost a 2-month gap between episodes, but it was almost monthly.
We're gonna make that by summer.
I know, and the thing is that granted, some of the 11 shows were God, some of them were close to 6 hours, but a lot of them did time out around 3 or 4, and we hit 3 every week.
Yep.
It's hard to not hit 3.
Yeah, with everything that we have.
It's crazy.
If we had followed today's outline to the letter God, we'd have gone 4.5.
I know.
Well, there was a particular email that would have sucked up a lot of time on it.
Yeah, that is very true.
Yes.
I think we diverted time from that email to Ethos, and I think that was the
fucking
right
win.
the right
Every time.
decision. Yes, absolutely.
Every time.
Every time. So, hey guys, how's it going? Thank you for your support at Patreon. We really appreciate it, and
It was so nice last week. I thought it was Nylan or something like that. I was finally yes, I love this behind the scenes content. It's finally a positive comment on the Green Room videos that we make every week.
Yeah.
Finally, a
Thank you.
A comment.
Yeah, anything.
I forgot who it was, but someone actually just recently started doing Patreon because during one of my streams, they're like, "Do you guys do a Green Room video after every episode?" Because I would sign up for Patreon for that alone. And I'm like, yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
we do. Yeah, maybe
I think-
one
I
every
think they
8
said
episodes. We
I-
won't do one.
I think they said they drop $10 easy, and I'm like, unless there's some type of unforeseen circumstances, Aniero.
We need to get
Anero's
footage.
iPad just won't come off of the iPad.
So, I
Such a
think
pain
the
in
only
the
week
dick.
we actively chose not to do it was Yomicon weekend because we were dead.
Yeah, that was one where we were just because we also had done the quiet shoot and we had done the roast, and it was just I can't believe that we had done 3 hours that weekend. That's crazy. I mean, we knew that we were gonna do the show, and we devoted all of Sunday to it. None of us went back to the con after that.
But we always look tired, especially when we walk out after an FEC episode. We have never looked so dead as we did coming out of that LBR.
That's true. Well, but then you know what? Kooky was here, and we, it was a. I really try to make it a point anytime someone tries to come and visit us, to try to do a show that includes them.
Right.
Unfortunately, that show didn't get a chance to include Sebo Kevo. He's come in a couple of times, and we're probably, the next time we cross paths with Sebo Kevo, we'll definitely. He's a staticky cat.
No. He's like, pet me. Okay. What the fuck are you doing? Whoa.
He's weird. He's a weirdo.
Cooed at me.
Cuddles
earlier.
does not equal consent.
All right, so we had a lively episode, long episode today, talking a lot about the live letter 26. We actually put that off for a week to be able to do the holiday show that we did last week, which I still can't believe turned out as well as it did.
Yeah.
Dude, just some of the comments we've gotten on that episode, and people getting the reference of everyone showing up late, and it's the old-timey time,
Old-timey time.
That's old-timey time.
what do you call Bing Crosby era shit?
Oh, old-timey time. Old-timey time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would work.
That's what came to mind for me. I don't know. But people getting that reference. And I think we had an email about it where the guy was of course it didn't help that everyone was calling bullshit and just Googling what the weather was in Detroit. It's dude, get with the Bing.
That was also kind of funny. I actually, when I first
Just
used
ignore that shit.
When I first used that excuse, I actually thought Aniero would call me out and be like, "Motherfucker, it's 60 degrees out."
No. It's more fun to just roll with it. And again, I think when a year down the line when we go back and listen to that, that it's still probably going to hold up and it's still going to be entertaining.
Timeless.
Yeah, it will. It will be.
Not to mention, like, as that show was starting and we were waiting for all of our turns to come in and start, we were still writing material out here for for that episode.
Honest to God, that I'm totally convinced that that's just how we work the best. Like it really is.
Last minute pressure.
Yeah, I mean, there was stuff that we had scripted, but we didn't even shop any of that. We didn't practice any of it, and I think it probably may have been worse if we did.
So our best material is written 12 minutes or 12 months beforehand.
Yeah.
We're an improv show. That's what we are.
My favorite comment about that was the person's favorite parts were the 12 days of LBR and Aniero's story, which
Were the two that you
both things that I wrote.
Yes.
I thought the "Who's on first" joke was maybe the
That
best.
was Aniero's story.
Oh, that's what that
Yeah,
was.
that's- yeah,
That's
yes.
what
Yeah.
That was
Which, let's
so.
be honest, you didn't write. You just did some copy and paste.
I deviated pretty far from
You know, it was pretty
It
specific.
was
It was a
outstanding, no
homage.
matter what.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's, yeah.
But without me and Aniero to perform it, more specifically me, it would have been useless.
No, it was outstanding.
All right, so you're the actors, and I'm what? The director?
No, you're
The producer?
You're the writer,
The writer.
which usually gets the
David
least
Hayter's the
amount
writer.
of credit.
And he is compensated very well for that. You got the credit. You got the production credit on the end. No, you did quite well. Those were probably the two standout bits, I have to say. And I'm glad. Like the thing is that like when they were written, like, I knew that we could have done the 12 days of LBR.
A little bit late though.
No. Like the thing we were, it would have been late because we were thinking about recording it on New Year's Eve when we were all together, and it just something fell off about the timing, and it just
remember we got together once a month.
dude, everything just fell into line for that, and it all worked thematically. And I mean, like again, those two pieces were written like 8 months apart.
It was a
Yeah.
Christmas miracle.
Oh my god.
No, the Christmas miracle was Team Juxta winning the bet.
Oh!
You just scared the shit out of that cat.
Well, if it's anything like my cat, everything scares him.
I
Bear Bear's
did
no
not
allowed
see
to-
your
to-
cat while I was there.
Oh no, yeah, she was in my room sleeping the whole time, which is weird because the last time we did this, she was like out in the middle of the living room, just like sitting there, like asserting her dominance. But I think it's because she knew a lot of the people, and she's just
She's like, fuck it, I'm not.
It spooked the shit out of me when his cat meowed at me, because I'm used to that cat, which wouldn't scream if it was on fire.
Oh no, he can cat or whale.
Oh no, trust me, he screams when he's on fire.
Oh yeah. Psycho jokes. All right. A lot going on this episode. We had a call from Ethis. That was really
That was
interesting.
amazing. I can't believe we actually got it. That's so great. That was so perfect.
Yeah.
Highlight. I don't care if we do it at the end. That's a
You
fucking
son of a-
highlight.
I don't even care anymore. Everyone breaks it, whatever.
Yeah.
I tried, but it's...
Yeah.
Dank Bear was a great call.
Dank. Yeah.
And I'm actually gonna give you credit. You had some pretty okay jokes in there near the end of that call.
I'll take it.
All right.
Also, an email from Dank Vader. I gotta say that at least one of those niggas had a harder ER than maybe
Yeah.
you
I'm like,
intended. Yeah, I caught.
Really?
Oh god, I was so excited to get an email like that.
Nobody said anything in the chat either.
Not one person said a word.
Do I sound black?
No, I don't think you do.
I think it's the Indian in you.
It's the yeah. That's right. Yeah, you were able to cover it up successfully. I don't think when the episode.
Wait, I said there's Indian in me, not that I've been a little Indian.
That's
Oh.
very different.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here like, what can I black out on this?
Wait, now I just want to make sure that I heard him correctly. Been in a little
Indian.
I like
a
short
little.
girls.
That's what he said.
I like short girls.
Short. That's what we're calling them these days.
Little
Short.
Pocahontas?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Pocahontas.
Get that out of the bars. Get that out of the crib, Kallo. Oh, Jesus.
Fun episode though.
Oh yeah. let's see what else was going on. We had a lot about Live Letter 26.
Yep. Talked a little bit about the bet.
Yeah, we had some new callers and some new callers that we didn't get to. I feel so bad. Jesus Christ, man.
Once I saw that we were like
2 callers technically.
An hour and a half in, and we like had barely touched the live letter. I'm like,
to be fair though, Ethis took up a good chunk.
Yeah, that was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
We just kind of rolled with
maybe
it.
30.
Yeah. So if it wasn't for Ethis, we probably got in at least 2, maybe 3 callers, depending on how long, you know, like what topics they came up with or whatnot. So no wait, did we have a third one or was it just those 2?
We had 4 callers total.
We had 4.
Oh, we had 4 callers on the show,
including Ethis.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Ethis.
Shit. Who were the other 2?
I wrote it down.
We had the guy who had a vacuum going in.
Oh yeah. The guy who initially.
Oh, Zero.
Yeah,
Zero. Yep. About
And
the
then-
rating.
And he was new.
Actually, I
And
think it was only 3.
I think
Might have only been
it was
3.
just those 3. Yeah.
Maybe.
Just those 3.
Well, now I gotta find out. Hold on, you assholes.
Whatever. We keep talking about
That. Like the moment FS hung up, it was like 10 after 7, and you see the outline, you're like,
yeah, we
It's
got
gonna be
in,
one
we
of
got
those
in-
episodes.
we got into it deep with him. So yeah, I knew that we wouldn't. We
But again, you know,
Just
how
3
often-
callers.
just 3 calls.
Just 3 calls.
How often do you get like that kind of setup for something? You
Oh,
know,
no, it's
like,
perfect.
Like he's working on something brand new that,
Oh,
that
yeah.
literally
That-
just dropped like 3 or 4 days ago.
Oh yeah, the
Again.
stars, dude, the stars aligned
Yeah.
for that.
well, and how cool of him to be willing to talk about that when he's getting ready to release it as his fresh content.
Absolutely.
Like, really cool of him to come on and do that with us.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, I think this is sort of like when I had kind of laid out the idea for this show, you know, and we had said, okay, we're gonna actually, because one of the things that we used to do with the 11 show that maybe 14 fans don't know is that we would have a special guest on each and every single show, and we would theme that show around that guest's expertise and knowledge. And there were 2 things, but there were 2 things about FF14. Like, first of all, it made it really cumbersome, especially if we got a guest that we didn't maybe necessarily click with. That had happened a few times, and we felt like we had to do a little bit more work than just, you know, kind of interviewing someone. And the second reason is that, you know, 14 is just a really different game than 11. Like, in terms of its depth, I think that you can have a much more broad base of knowledge in 14, and you know, specialization knowledge is really, you know, you're really nitpicking at that point.
Another
You're getting down,
big point.
you're getting down to rotations and
right,
you know.
right. Another big point that you brought up before too is we only wanted to rely on ourselves for this show.
Yes, that was a big thing too, because
That's
a
been
lot
very important to me in creating this show.
well, in the scheduling, specifically
That
for
as
scheduling.
well, yeah.
because
Holy shit.
a lot of times, you know, we would get someone from the UK or Australia, and then we would be doing shows at all hours, and it made it very, very difficult to organize.
Yep.
And so, you know, doing the FF14 show from the 11 show is a chance to reorganize and say, okay, we're not going to do that anymore. And at first, my initial idea that I had pitched was that we would have specific correspondents that would be, you know, that would have specialized knowledge in specific areas. And it's like, it's sort of kind of shaped out that way just over time. Because we've got Joe Never, who's like, you know, PvP specialist. Ethis for lore.
Sam, if we need some type of douchebag.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, like, Sam is really good at social issues and...
The meta. The meta behind things.
Not just that, but I mean, like, breaking down anything on just, like...
The guy likes to think.
Yeah, he's... And the way he sees things, his perspective is really unique. So, you know, I sort of feel like that over time, that's just sort of started forming. And, you know, the fact... you know, like, it was a 50-50 shot whether Ethis was going to be available or not.
Yeah.
But just, you know, super cool that the moons ended up aligning for that. So... but you know, that's something that regular radio shows have done for years. You know, that they just, you know, hey, we've got a question, let's call up Dr. Z. You know, like that's just the thing that people have done for a while. So it's just nice to have like a kind of like stable of people that, you know, we're close to.
The unofficial LBR correspondents.
Yeah. So I don't know, just kind of a thought there. Let's see, what else? We didn't get to emails, which...
Not many.
Did the ones that we could, basically. The short ones
the
that didn't need a
shortest
whole lot of
ones.
explanations, because all those other ones had actual discussion behind them.
Dude, the fucking length of some of these things is starting to...
One of them took me like 10 minutes to read the other night. I'm just like, gee.
Because it was horrible.
I know
Because it
it
was
is,
not
yeah.
not just it was not just long. It's a really stupid,
Boring email.
Stupid email.
Stupid and boring.
Well,
I think we're thinking of different emails.
10 minutes to read it, and then Aniero forced me to make a too long didn't read, which took me another 30 minutes, which I had to cut into 2 parts. I had to do like 10 minutes.
Because you have to try to figure it out. Like
Yeah.
you have to figure out what the fuck
You
he's
gotta
getting
look at it and you're like, what the fuck?
And I'm like, ugh, I don't want to like type out what it means because it's just so wrong.
It's literally making you dumber.
Yeah, like
Oh my
I don't
god.
want to write this because that's like
You don't want to perpetuate it?
Yeah, it's
We've
like,
already started beating up on this email and
But it's like
we
you
haven't had
were-
a chance to read it yet.
You were very adamant about us reading it on the show.
Absolutely.
And I think the bulk of us
Well, now
were just
we
like,
turned
God,
into
we're going to have to hear this again.
Well, now, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. This was what was challenging about it. Is I thought that at first he just wanted to he just wanted to email Red so he could tear it up, right? But that's not enough because Judge is like, well, why don't we just give it to Kallo and be like, here, you're so good at reading stuff, turn this into something. There's nothing clever or imaginative or good
Yeah, at least
about the way it's written.
At least Nikki's email's fucking funny.
Yes, thank you. Nikki at least passed fucking basic English class. Okay? This person must have grew up on the fucking streets.
By the way, if you're out there thinking about emailing us, this is a very specific circumstance. This email
Yes.
is
But
1 in a million
We-
kinds of bad.
We're turning it into a bit, is what we're doing. It's
Yeah.
gonna be great.
So well, I don't want to oversell it, but we do have a very lengthy email that we're going to set aside for next week. I feel a lot of people have been asking for limit-breaking music. I think that maybe we should, for the next episode, concentrate on maybe doing a limit-breaking music, reading emails, because I'm sure that there will be more that build up this week. And what are some old? We should revisit some old
We're
bits.
talking about kind of doing a segment show next week almost.
Yeah. Either old bits or like let's make a new one.
okay. Just like a top 14 list again.
Yeah, like either a top 14.
That could be fun to revisit the top
Hold
14
on.
list. and see how it's
I had kind of pitched an idea once about LBR inspired lore, like the primal of sodium, where like if each of us were like primals or whatever.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and put something together. Basically,
No.
like
No. I've already got the bit. Remember,
Oh,
I already came up with the bit. Remember?
no.
Okay. So here's the bit. Fully formed wheel of racial stereotypes.
Did you ever get the wheel?
Oh, I'll get a wheel.
Okay.
I'll get a wheel. Yeah.
All right.
Wheel of racial stereotypes. That's what we're gonna do.
We're gonna let this wheel decide. How does it work?
So, okay, we're gonna... Starts explaining, stops, turns to me, how does it work? That's amazing.
Just the way you were trying to like, break it down for Juxta.
He was ready to charge right in, and he was gonna go, you know how it works?
Tell him how it works.
Repeating this bit on the show.
Okay, here's how this bit works. We're gonna take regular racial stereotypes. Just general...
Drives bad. Doesn't tip well.
Cheap. Yeah,
Always eats popo toast.
right.
Gotcha.
Yes, we're gonna put all of these on a wheel, right? And then we're gonna say Lalafels, and we're gonna spin it, and whatever it lands on, suddenly Lalafels are cheap.
I think we should put the races on the wheel and then come up with a stereotype and spin it. Because otherwise that's a lot of shit to put on the wheel.
Actually, you're right. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a good
It
point.
makes a lot more sense because then you could like
Racists.
You don't want to get that
Elephants-
two people are cheap. or
Elephants
something.
and
Actually-
Lalafels could be cheap.
Wheel of Races is actually not a bad name for that bit.
Wow, that was really good, Kallo.
Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you. I have good ideas a lot.
Your wit is sharp
Especially
as
when
a
Eskalia around. I draw some sort of weird inspiration from him. It's fucking weird and creepy. I hate it.
Look, I'm just saying. We said nigga on the show today. We might as well just like keep pushing that button. It didn't get a response. We might as well just keep going.
I like how your first instinct is, people don't hate us, push harder.
Right.
We don't get hate mail.
Well, you know,
Thank you,
it's been
Rajat.
a while since the social justice warriors have raised their pitchforks
It
in
is
these
true.
Yeah, and you know what?
okay?
I have so many fucking drops. I haven't been able to use any of them.
I know.
Well,
We
let's see
need
how
to
it is on
piss people
Wednesday.
off so that Juxta can use drops.
Yes. Well, that's true. Okay.
I love
so-
how you called him out on his drops earlier.
Yeah, that was good.
Touched
That
a
was-
fucking one.
That was good. That was good. Yeah. What was with your drop game, man? What's going on here?
Shit.
Don't listen to my
I
shit.
feel no. Here's the thing. You gave me 90 drops. I feel like you have overwhelmed yourself.
Yeah, I gotta trim the drops is what it amounts to.
Now, do you have to trim the drops, or should we look at the idea of getting you different software again?
I don't.
It's still a lot of different drops to remember, like what they are, and have
I
a
really-
context in your mind for it.
I'm gonna say this again. I really think that color coding would help.
It would help, but I don't feel like that the program that we saw would help all that much.
So a new program would help, but not the ones you've looked
not
at.
the ones we've seen.
No, I'm gonna disagree with that. There's one soundboard drop program, the only one that's paid. It's just expensive. It's expensive for what the software is. It just feels like you shouldn't have to pay that. Okay. The other piece of software that was free, the radio software, I have not looked into at all, so I can't actually speak to the efficacy of that one. So I had asked you to check it out to see what you thought. And
Did you?
Did you actually
What was it called?
like radio? Was it radio DJ or DJ radio or something like that?
I think I checked out one and I was like this.
Did you actually download it or did you just look at the
I
screen?
just looked at the screenshots. and it
Okay,
didn't-
we're gonna have to download it. And we're gonna have to take a look at it.
Alright.
You gotta get yourself in there and check it out.
Yeah.
More
What-
shit for me to do.
Yeah, but you can do that. Like it's a totally free program, so you should have no problem. But yeah, download. I think it would be easier for you to download it for you and check it out on your PC. Fuck around with it and see, what the
Is this worth
application.
using?
Yeah, because I mean, like a radio or a shoutcast radio program pretty much works the same. We wouldn't have to change the server. It would still hook into the server, the shoutcast server, the same that it does now. It would still DJ music the same that it does now. I think it has options for like 8 different sound cards. So I mean, like there's options there. We should actually look into that.
Okay. Send me a Facebook message with the name of the program.
Yeah, I
Otherwise
will.
I'll forget.
I'll look. I'll find it again. All right. So
Highlights?
yeah, highlights. FS call.
Epis call, obviously.
Dank Vader call.
You wanna do the Dank Vader call?
I feel like we laughed the hardest during that.
That was the funniest. Yeah,
Yeah.
but did it have any, like, real, but besides funniness, did it have any other substance to it?
I don't know. Well, it's just if we have one call already, and that just it seems like 2 is kind of a lot.
But Ephesus call doesn't feel like a call to me. That
That's
felt
true.
more like a segment.
That felt like an interview.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe you're right. The third one's definitely either got to be a discussion between us or, I mean, it can't be an email. 'cause
There
we
was a
didn't
part
do it.
where Nika brought up that idea that we're like, oh, we never looked at it like that before. What was that? Was that during the Ethis thing or was that afterwards?
That was after.
It was after. It was when she was talking about the primals being remembrances.
Yeah,
of
icons.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. So what? The discussion about the warring triad?
Yeah, it was a good discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. What else we got then? Like,
Well, we have we have a lot of stuff regarding Yoshi P's comments about rating, and
Mhm.
but you know what? Those are old. I mean, I feel like those are old.
no,
and
yeah, no
well
one's
tread.
really cared about the rating or even Diadem. I feel like it should be something that people can get excited about.
Yeah.
Flying turtle.
What about did we talk about how much did we really talk about the PvP stuff?
Kind of glossed over it.
It was
Yeah.
Towards the end of the show, we were short on time. When we
Yeah,
got there.
we did kind of rush through that. I mean, had we had Joe on like we had
Mhm.
Ethos on, maybe, but no. You know what? I'm
Just those two?
maybe not just the. I think the warring triad would be a good third.
Okay.
So we'll do the warring triad. Okay, and then so next week we will be live at 2 p.m. With episode number 46. And then following that, over on twitch.tv/Final Encountercast, we'll be having episode number 9? 8?
8? Number something.
Yeah.
7.
7?
7? It's only been 7?
Wow, it's been 7. Okay. So we'll
7 sounds right.
we'll be on episode number 7 of Final Encountercast. Got a lot to talk about over there, including my recent being laid off from my job. We're going to talk a lot about that. We've also got a lot of gaming news to go over. Just a lot of stuff happening, including the new Kojima Studios. We've also got what else? What else? There's been tons of stuff, hasn't there? I feel like we've been putting links up like crazy.
We've been putting links up, but it's I don't know how
I feel
much
like
of
it's
that is
all-
going to be like stuff that's going to be like major substance. There's going to be a lot of things in there that gets a headline that like in the
There
news
was
segment.
something that I feel like I was really anxious to talk about.
World of Final Fantasy.
Oh, fuck you.
Huh?
Basically, it's a PS4 version of Record Keeper. They're all chibis.
What?
Yeah, it's happening.
I feel like there was something else. There was more news, but yeah, we do.
Final Fantasy Explorers comes out in January. That's the Final Fantasy Monster Hunter on 3DS.
Okay.
That I've been looking forward to.
Oh, on the 3DS.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
Like what kind of how visually what does it look like?
It looks Monster Hunter style.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's like, what is it set in a specific Final Fantasy world?
I don't think so. I think it's just
I think it's
generalized
just
Final
general
Fantasy.
So just running
with
around
classes and stuff.
Final Fantasy.
Fighting Final Fantasy themed monsters. It's Monster Hunter with Final Fantasy skin on
That
it.
actually sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
I could actually get behind that.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it's supposed to be coming out this month, right? Or is it next month? January, yeah.
Oh, this month.
How are we supposed to stream that?
3DS is a bitch to stream. I don't know any way to do it.
The only way I know how to is to send your 3DS to a guy to like mod it, like
Yeah.
with like
Ugh.
soldering and shit.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no good way to
So-
stream 3DS. That's when no one streams anything off there.
Yeah.
Though if you can get the stuff to do it,
You corner a market.
you
man.
got a market cornered if you can actually
Holy
do it.
fuck,
Big
yeah.
time. Yeah.
It's not something we want to like look into, right? I briefly considered it when Smash came out, but I'm like, this is too much work. It's gonna take over a week, and by that time I'll have.
I mean,
Wii U
Playthrough of
Smash.
Bravely Second on stream.
homie, if you can if you can make a compelling case for it,
We all have 3DSs, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So this would actually literally be like an LBR 3DS that we probably have to buy a 3DS, ship it to the person to mod it, and then we would just
Yeah.
No, I
None of
think-
us are going to want to risk getting ours broken.
No, I think you can buy it modded.
that's what I mean is.
If we look into buying one, if it works out, then we
Good
have the the reason to basically start buy them modded for us to do that.
Yeah.
And you're right, it would corner a fucking market.
Yeah, very, very few streams of anything 3DS related.
Yeah.
And the only ones I've seen look like garbage because they're doing basically guerrilla style shooting on it.
Yeah, they have like a camera or something.
We will look into that.
Okay. Yeah, well, consider it. Let's.
Found the table.
Yeah.
Patent pending.
Let's see. Any more Final Encountercast stuff to mention?
I can't think of anything concrete off the top of my head. Like he said, all the stuff that I'm remembering from where we posted is just like little snippet things like that guy who lost the fucking league championship the same fucking way twice.
I did see that. That was really
So
entertaining.
salty.
Oh
That
my
was
god.
really entertaining to watch him get upset.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, the second one, I kind of think he did on purpose. Like, the timing would be unbelievable, but he was losing that second game so hard. I'm like, did he just do that again?
Oh,
on
okay,
purpose?
see,
So
now-
you think he went in and teleported hoping that guy would do it again?
So okay, see,
I
yeah.
think he might have. The first time,
see now,
that was a fucking accident.
See now, like that. That's one thing that, as not being a league player, I didn't realize that he was like basically on the ropes the second time.
He was, but let me tell you something. If he did that on purpose, your timing window is 0.1 seconds to be able to do that. Because if you hit him, the snowball does a little bit of damage to you. And you only get the recall off if you finish the recall within 0.1 seconds of taking the damage. So the
Wow.
timing has to be perfect to do it.
Wow,
But he was getting his ass kicked that second game, so he might have been trying to. I don't know.
that's funny. Interesting, man. Interesting. Yeah, that was a good video. But we've also got, we've gotten a lot of really great emails.
Yeah, I haven't looked into those recently.
From people who have some opinions about sponsorship and like what what we should be considerate of when considering sponsorship.
Okay,
So,
cool.
And I think we do recognize that it is such a slippery slope in a lot of ways that we know we're going to kind of walk the tightrope on this one.
Yeah, but it is also, I think, necessary to try to propel us to where we want to try to take.
It's better than the alternative.
Of just asking the audience, I mean, it seems like such a big ask. And, there were some people when we were talking about the bet who were like, next time go for 10,000. And it was like,
We were nervous about 2,500.
Yeah, really. I mean, it just, yeah, we do recognize that this is a project that takes money. It takes, it takes funding, and your generosity has been able to get us a long way to that. And it's when you consider when we want to make this a job, consider just stop and think about it for a second, like what it takes you to live your own life and how much money that takes, how much money it takes to feed yourself. And we're actually all in a pretty awesome position from one standpoint because we're, for the most part, we're single. None of us are married. We don't have families. We don't have kids. We don't have obligations like that. We do have obligations, but we don't have obligations.
We only
on that
answer
kind of
to
level.
ourselves.
Yeah, and so that puts us in a really good position to sacrifice and devote time to a project like this.
Yeah.
So, to just ask the listeners to make that investment seems like way too much, because ultimately what we want to do is we want to live off this. Interestingly enough, a lot of people coming out and saying, do not make the same mistake that Gary Gannon did with Game Breaker TV, which I thought is a very...
What did he do?
Well, that was who Mr. Happy did his show. It was just called XIV. And Gary Gannon, I think, was primarily known in the World of Warcraft scene. And he got a big injection of crowdfunding, I think through a Kickstarter, and he very quickly tried to launch a whole bunch of other shows for games that he didn't play, including XIV.
Okay.
Now, he got very smart people to do the shows with him every time. For example, Mr. Happy, he got involved with the show. And clearly that, if you're picking Mr. Happy as talent, you know talent. You're picking the right people.
Right.
The problem is that it was so painfully obvious that Gary didn't play any of the games that he was talking about.
You were telling me about this guy.
That this is where our own kind of internal mantra that nobody wants to hear somebody talk about a game that they don't play comes from. So, in a way, we have learned that lesson, and I think that's partly why we embrace, on Final Encountercast, why we embrace what we don't know very well. If our knowledge is short in that area, we're totally willing to go, I don't really know that much about it.
Yep.
And I think that's just trying to acknowledge that, we're not trying to do what Gannon was trying to do.
Right, yep.
And I also think that we learned that naturally just through the LBR network and not trying.
That's why we don't talk about crafting, y'all.
Bang,
You're not wrong.
Crafting.
But another thing to consider, because there are people out there who I don't think are looking at all the angles and think that we could just do this completely off the backs of our audience, right? While we would love to do it, take into consideration that Penny Arcade, which has been around for how long, is huge. And they only just recently, last year, were able to make their site ad-free because they did a Kickstarter that raised like fucking $5 million.
Yeah. And
We can't raise $5 million, guys.
No, and the FF14 community can't support something like that,
Right.
which is why we're looking to expand the Final Encountercast. And something that we admitted very early on was that when we started that show, only two of the members of the cast had an 8th generation console. That's it. You know, like we were at a deficit, and you know, I think that there's also another misconception that when
Now, hold on.
what?
I believe the Wii U counts
Oh,
as an age.
shut the fuck up! You're technically right, but you're an asshole. Oh my
I honestly had no idea where he was going with that either until it came out.
God
I knew that was coming. Like, I looked over and saw the look on his face, like that comprehending but trollish look that he
You
gets.
knew
and I'm
that
like,
was coming?
yeah.
You knew the Wii U thing was coming.
I knew
You
he was gonna
should've
say
just
something
hit him.
Nintendo.
You should have
You
just.
should have hit him.
You should have just
In fact,
cracked him one
we
across
need
the
to hit-
jaw.
We should hit him for not hitting him.
Damn it. So anyway, when we had to embrace the fact that we were starting from a deficit, and the fact of the matter was that we couldn't wait for funds to accumulate from Patreon to be able to buy the necessary equipment like a PlayStation 4. And we're just now getting to the point where we can invest in stuff like that. Our first priority, and we made this very, very well known, was making sure that the studio was as much up to par as possible.
Yep.
And then now our secondary priority is to get all of our gaming needs serviced.
The equipment that we need to be legitimate, to be
To be able
to be too legit to quit.
No.
How about to be up to date?
That was a really terrible joke, Eskalia.
Damn it, Eskalia, shut your mouth.
Never do that again.
God, I like that. I like that.
it goes both ways.
It does. See, I'm giving
Just
back,
like a
bro.
scholar.
Oh no!
I was
Wow,
right
that was a good one, Juxta. Wow, that's a real zinger.
I was right on the edge of that coming out too.
Just like a scholar.
There you go, dude. You got one.
Yeah.
With him being the video editor, he can just cut all this out and keep his own jokes. Oh god.
Just goes for he just censors everyone else and just says, and here we have everyone else being an asshole. Skip over that.
I can't put names over your heads.
Asshole one.
Asshole, douchebag, and dickhead.
Oh god. Oh, that was great.
See, these are the kind of things that goes in the highlight reel to sell it to other people.
Actually, yes.
This is our sizzle reel.
Yes, that definitely should make it into the sizzle reel. There's a couple, yeah.
I've got a few things in our sizzle reel.
Good, all right. We're starting to put things aside for that. That's
I'm
great.
really looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
Well, that makes about 3, so we got a ways to go. We've got about 14 seconds of footage.
Okay, all right. Well, we're working. Anyway, and just to kind of give you guys an idea, FanFest was announced. I think that all 5 of us are looking to go out to FanFest this year, we have set aside how much for travel expenses?
1,600 so far.
That's very good.
All right, so here's my thing, because obviously we're not worried about affording FanFest. All right, well, the biggest thing that we're worried about is being able to get tickets because of how quickly they go.
Right.
Now, last year you and Nika weren't able to get media passes.
Right.
I don't know how late you waited to try to do that.
We had tried to open up the dialogue very early, and what we were told by Square Enix was that there were going to be no media badges given out.
So, are you aware? Did anybody get media badges?
Yes. Because when I got there, there was a media line registration. Now, there were some people who were able to, weasel media badges.
I was gonna say,
I did not try to do that.
Legitimate, actual media, cool. Was there anybody our level, streamers or podcasters, that had gotten media badges?
Gamerscape got media badges.
They also have a really close relationship, though.
Yeah,
they do.
Besides them, was there?
Are you asking about any of our streaming peers, Happy or any of them? No.
Okay. Because what I think needs to happen, and this isn't anything that we can do, this has to be on our listeners, but a lot of cosplayers or prop builders and stuff like that usually have booths at some, not necessarily the bigger ones, but a lot of the smaller cons here and there. If you go to their page, they obviously have rates and stuff, and they say, they encourage people, if you want to see us at certain cons, contact that con and let them know. Because if there's a big enough demand, then that con might look into inviting you, right?
Yep.
So if enough people are getting in contact with Square Enix and saying stuff like, hey, what kinds of I'm not really sure, like how to word it, but is Mr. Happy going to be there? Is Limit Break Radio going to be there? What kinds of community things are you looking?
I think
for? Blah, blah, blah.
I think that would probably be a good secondary tactic if we are told again that there will be no media badges.
Okay.
But here's the thing to keep in mind for last year is that right around the time of FanFest was when Robert Peeler, who used to be on the Square Enix community team, left and went to join the Kojima Productions community team.
Okay.
So he was the one who told us that there would be no media badges, and by the time FanFest had rolled around, he was no longer with the company. Mm-hmm. And so when and there was no confrontation, but what was sort of explained to me was that because Robert left, that's where the miscommunication was, and why we weren't informed later that there would be media badges. So I think
the guy that you were in contact with was no longer there.
Right. So I think I think my first point of contact on this is going to be Matt. So yeah, if that's what we're told, then I think that may be something that we could.
Well, you let Matt know if any dicks need to be sucked. We got Eskalia ready.
For media badge? Yeah, I'm on it.
At least you're honest. Anyway,
Just another Tuesday in my life.
Only Tuesday?
That's why he's never on the stream.
Man, this is getting close to home.
Oh, it's canon. It's canon. All right, so let's wrap this up. Let's get out of here. And just a final thought on the Patreon funding. A couple of recent purchases that you guys have allowed us to be able to afford. We have picked up a second recorder to be able to prepare for FanFest, which is why I brought that up in the first place. So that's going to be great because no matter how many of us get out there, a second recorder, it just doubles our coverage. So we'll have, hopefully we'll have 2 people that have cameras, and we'll have 2 people that, actually we're looking at a third, like a
third recorder,
a cheap
cheapo one.
Yeah. So we'll probably actually have 3 recorders, that'll be great in terms of getting audio coverage of stuff out there. And the other thing too is that when there's only 2 of us out there, there's so much pressure to be interviewing people that you almost can't enjoy the event.
That's something I wanted to ask you about.
Do you remember that from 08?
Yeah, that's something that I still talk about now.
Yeah.
As a big fear of mine is when we went to 08. Having gone to cons now, at 08, it didn't feel like we went to a con. I didn't feel like I got to be an attendee at the con because we had so much shit that we had to do.
Right.
And obviously we want to be able to do that and be able to enjoy ourselves while also, creating content for Limit Break Radio.
Right. So yeah, and I think having 5 of us will help because clearly on Sunday of FanFest, I was knocked out of commission. I was not functioning well, and I just had to pass the recorder off and trust Mika to do a lot of that, and I slept a good portion of the day. So if there's 5 of us that we can rely on to be able to all be collecting sound, then that pressure doesn't exist, and I think it'll actually make for better quality interviews overall. Cool. But again, you guys allow us to be able to do that, and it's by your generosity alone. And thank you so much for everything that you guys do. And I think that's it from us. Any final thoughts?
Dicks.
All right, we'll catch you next time. See you later.